some water now.
Yeah, hey, whoa, damn, whoa, oh, shit, fuck. The beat too loud, but I'm chomping it. Running past the ice, I ain't comping it. Ayy, carve it off my mental, ayy. Ride it off for the sinful little. I ain't got no time to let them slip. But I'm diving, riding to the end of the road, moving past what I used to know. It ain't a game, it ain't the dice. I rolled them all, I left it twice. I looked aside and found my light. Ayy, moved around, ayy, got it right. Ayy, looking past, ayy, what you thought, ayy, what you mean? Ayy, look inside, ayy, different things. Ayy, give it up, ayy, rip it up, ayy, sip it up, ayy, get it up, ayy, what is that? Ayy, live it up, ayy, to the last moment, holding on the cronin. Anybody notice? Ayy, keep it growing. Ayy, shine with it, ayy, lie with it, ayy, dive in it, ayy, ride in it, ayy. It right to the days, ayy. Shit, I in the smaze, ayy. It on you, my maid, ayy. Shit, gas lunch, ayy. Acid touch, ayy. Magic lunch, ayy. It's a funk song, so I'm jamming on the shit way too long. As I'm hitting the bass guitar and the drums, I got my mind going fast, but I feel the fun. About to cut off, so I'm grinding to the bass. Torch and ace to the mash to the case, oh shit, this shit fucked that, but we about to start the case like. Close it, frozen, Odin.
I thought you said close it like.
Nah, that was just fucking around. Welcome to Monterey Radio. It's your boy West here, chilling.
Howdy, Wowie. How's it going?
You know we got a guest. Introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Amenaida. Yeah, or Men of the Menace sometimes.
See, we didn't even throw that in the prototype name for all that.
Yeah, on Spotify, my name is Men of the Menace, and the little picture is a little Luigi on a DJ.
I think you probably seen that on the collaborative thing. But yeah, you know, this welcome to Monterey Radio. It's good to have you out here. We, you know,
thanks for having me.
I've had like a lot of people this season and shit, and you got to, you know, be a part of finale and whatnot and all that. But I feel like today is an interesting day because we get to talk a lot about music in the way I feel like I usually talk about it with the both of you, like in the kind of like in-depth way when it comes to how much different kinds of music we listen to.
Yeah, the range.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like not many people I meet listen to all the different kinds of music I listen to, or are open to even listen to many different kinds of music and shit like that. I feel like you two are for sure like some of the homies that really like, you know, listen to like damn near everything, bruh.
Yeah. And speaking of at the season finale party, I feel like everyone here had some sort of connection to music, obviously, but they were either some sort of artist or they played music or anything related to media and arts. And then I walked in and everyone like kind of asked, oh, so what do you do? Like, what have you done? And I'm like, I feel like I do nothing really related to art or media. So it's funny to just like walk into a place like that and just meet a lot of people, which is really cool. But in a way, I still feel like everyone kind of is part of art and media in everyday life. Like, just because I don't produce or make music or anything doesn't mean that music doesn't just hold like such a big part in everyone's life, which is cool.
Yeah,
that's facts. I think music, well, I think there's like two parts in that. I feel like the music part is, yes, everyone, music and art like as a whole plays a part in everyone's life. What I was going to say is that there's other forms of like expression in art that isn't like the stuff that maybe a lot of people just like commonly associate with, which is like maybe straight up like painting or like music and stuff like that. But there's a million forms of expression. 'Cause I feel like what we've like, how at least my feeling towards art is like, it's just like human expression captured in the moment. Yeah. And that can be expressed in so many different ways. Yeah. And so like that's not limited, I think, to that. So don't think that you're not in the arts field because of that. I feel like we're all in the arts field.
Not like I don't belong in the art field. It's more so like it's interesting to see that in like a room full of people who are like dedicated to their art, like with music and producing and anything related to that, or like even comedy and stuff. It was just interesting like seeing the difference, I guess. But then when I started looking more into what art really means, I realized how art is literally like fashion is art, and I'm really, really into fashion. And
I know, Cab. I feel like that's, you know, like going back to a lot of times at this part of the pod, we go to like how we like met, and then getting to the point here. I think that was one thing me and you always like had in common. Like at least in Monterey area, I didn't feel like a lot of people like, I don't know. I feel like some people would dress really cool, but I just happen to feel like you dressed with similar like pizzazz to what I like to dress with. You know what I'm
I feel
saying?
like we both dress with color a lot, which
Yeah.
stood out a bit, I guess.
You know what I'm saying? And
just
I
really
feel like that is, like you said, it's like in relation to
Yeah.
like art too, because at least
Mhm.
when I'm from over here, like a lot of people when they do dress like that, you kind of assume like, oh, like they're doing something, or like they like,
Mhm.
or the people that do kind of like add some sauce on the stuff that they wear to represent themselves, if you will, artistically. I feel like, do you ever see that shit like out here, like, you know what I mean? Kind of like
That's
where you see like somebody like that like does something where it's like even verse like vice. I feel like it could be the flip of it either way. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like someone you do is dope. Like you see fucking one of your favorite artists, like, and he got on like the craziest. Don't you do like sometimes they put on like the hard artistic jacket, like that represents them. You know what I'm saying? Like in the shit that they about, like, or you know you got like particular pieces and shit.
Yeah.
I feel like that's an interesting question because fashion is very much so an expression of like who we are and what we're trying to get off in a moment.
Mhm.
Like
Mind Tree Radio.
with fashion, it's we're all expressing ourselves like in the moment and in a like who we want to portray as, right? Whether it be your favorite artist, the person, your least favorite artist, the person you see next to you, or yourself. Like everyone is in some way trying to get something off. So I think it's kind of like acknowledging what they're trying to get off, and like I feel like that's where the judgment is kind of placed. Like when people kind of care too much of like
what they're wearing.
what they're wearing and why they're trying to
got
get
you.
something
Yeah.
off, then that person is being a little too judgmental on that end. And I feel like they're just kind of judging for their own reasons of being like, I don't know, whatever it may be, like they just
Yeah.
feel insecure.
Mhm.
And so like within that, it kind of goes breaking like further into, I feel like,
That makes sense though. I get what you're saying though. That makes sense because I feel like a part of like your style and shit that like I related to, and part of my style that I resonate with that is that like certain people have style or like the way they express it in a way that's like, how you say, really most reflective and of them and their like person, you know, like their expression, and like I feel you that's different than that, you know what I'm saying? Like I get what you're saying, like
Yeah.
and in those instances I feel like that drip is like I'm not explaining it, like that shit is like, it's not like, I get what you're saying, it's not so much based on like the other shit, which is
Yeah.
like also a part of it.
like it's hard because I feel like everyone has like their own intentions into what they wear, right? And it's really hard to determine it from like a base value. But then there's other factors when, and this is
In
when,
school, I noticed that shit the most. Like, don't you see certain people dressed like unique versus certain people you be seeing they wear all the same shit? Like, that's
So this
basically
is-
like that. Like,
So this is what I was gonna get with it, is that definitely there's on the unique tip of people wanting to, but this is where I'm gonna be honest with. I feel like sometimes people try to hold too heavy to that unique aspect
Mhm.
that it gets to the point where that's what they're chasing. And I get it, like they're chasing the need to feel unique in
Yeah.
that sense.
Yeah.
And like if
Yeah.
and maybe that's me being judgmental, is like speaking on like
No, I
what I was
feel
just
like
saying, but like
People do that with everything.
100%.
Like they want to be unique in anything that they do.
Yeah.
But yeah, fashion is like a really big thing. For
definitely,
that,
bro.
but-
They've taken that shit. Remember when
Yeah.
Lady Gaga put it with meat on her? I'm pretty sure they're really trying to just take it like off the
No.
whatever,
But-
you know.
Yeah, it's like
and this is where I was going to talk into that, is that there's the thing about fashion is that it isn't, we don't have the option to wear whatever we want at any moment because
Yeah.
there's the limit of price tag on it. And that's where I was going to get into this next part of the conversation of, is when you associate money with art, like now it adds like this whole
feel
separate
that.
layer that kind of like
Yeah.
pushes it in other directions, because now
Yeah.
certain people will wear certain things just to portray that they have money,
Money.
as opposed
Yeah,
to
that's
what it
just
is
weird.
like
Yeah.
showing on like the fashion side. The fashion
for
side is
sure.
like them showing like the clout or whatever, or like
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like
feel
one
like-
thing we should talk about within that, or you could talk about both, is like thrifting culture.
yeah.
So I feel like that is like what kind of like
Became a little
is the
problematic.
nuance within that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But then again, like
because that obviously is stuff that's been reused and so it's not. It's for the low.
Yeah, but I feel like thrifting became super trendy too. So
I get that.
so like all the thrift prices have been going up, right? Everyone wants to be unique and say that they thrift and they're sustainable and blah blah blah. But like at the end of the day, they're not being sustainable when they're taking clothes away from people that need them for cheap. You know what I mean? But no, like I definitely fuck with thrifting. I don't really shop at like fast fashion stores, so like Forever 21 and all that stuff. Just because I feel like when I walk into the thrift store, I can take pieces and then imagine them in my head, and I'm like, okay, this would go with this. This pattern would go with this pattern. And I do that all the time with anything that I wear. And for me, it's more so about, yeah, like what Mari said, expressing myself. But I just think it's so fun to like, it's like my form of art. So like instead of painting, I like, in a way, paint what I wear. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, it definitely does make sense, because I think like I haven't like done that too much in my life, but different times I felt like I've always like you said, colors. I think that was always my thing. Like I would probably have like certain standard things, but then if I got a chance to get that thing that was like gonna have the one standout color, I'd always get the zebra print one, or like get the one that's just like, are you sure you could pull that off? Like they always ask me like, you really want that? I'm like, yeah, like come on, like
feel like
you just have to wear all one plain color and then that. Like
I used to pick out like really wild patterns, like crazy looking purples and yellows, and I feel like I've mellowed out throughout the years, but I still like add like a little hint of color.
I've definitely tapped into the earth tones.
Yeah, the
now.
earth tones. I feel like that's also like becoming a trend
thing now.
Whatever, yeah,
I know now. It's like now they got like clothes like.
Yeah, but
like,
I mean, you just make it.
It's comfy, and that's the one thing I'm not against. It's like that coming back. It's like comfiness.
You know what? Like for the way that I dress or whatever, and how much I love fashion, I appreciate and love. It's my favorite thing people wear, like a hoodie and sweatpants, and that's it. I feel like I love when people look super super comfortable, like they're about to go to bed or like on a walk or something. That's like the best outfit for me. Like that does it.
Maybe to transition, a little bit into music, I wonder like what music would you guys say is like sweatpants and hoodie music?
Sweatpant music. I feel like
like what's your sweatpants and hoodie?
Jazz maybe, but that's more like dress for me. Like a skirt or dress would be more jazzy.
Yeah, you can.
Honestly, like I feel like when I'm in hoodie and sweatpants, as much as it's like also like the relax at home fit, it's
you're about to go rob a bank. You're like on that type.
You're about to rock out.
I'm about to go run with my dog.
Okay. I was like, you're about to say as much as it's chill, it's like it's also like. I was like, whoa.
No, it's on it's just like I feel like that's because sometimes I'll go like really late at night or really early in the mornings, and so like I'm usually wearing sweaters and sweatpants like when I'm running and stuff, and so like I feel like the kind of music that I use it for then is like sometimes like on the more active sense of music.
Yeah,
like it's like you're about to work out.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Which it varies though, because even when I do that though, I'll listen to some slow stuff. If I'll be honest, I'll only listen to something slow like all the way through if it's like an album that I'm looking forward to listen to in a certain sense, because then that kind of keep like being attached to the music kind of keeps my motivation up to keep going and stuff, and like being able to keep move.
Yeah.
So what do you listen to when you're kicking back, like when you're on your kickback?
On my kickback, yeah, I feel like maybe that's when it gets into like the slower, maybe more like R&B or like slower.
Like any artist, like is there any fool you like you throwing the Frank?
I was literally about to say Frank. Like,
and then just like post it up.
I feel like the Frank is like the perfect kind of just like kickback, mellow vibes.
Yeah.
So
I think it's interesting how we choose like what time of the day or week or month to listen to a certain album. Like when albums come out, I'm like, I can't listen to this quite yet. And then you'll choose a time and a place, and you're like, I won't appreciate it unless I'm listening to it at this time, at this place, or with these people or whatever, which is so interesting because I feel like
that is really interesting because I know what you mean on the tip of like some people listen to really like turn music in the morning. Like that's a forever argument that like people are gonna like forever have with each other because of that. Like they don't understand that like for some people like I'm like they can listen to wake up to really really turn music, and then some people they're just like damn, like I can't like listen to that at this point in time in the morning, or vice versa, where it's like the music is too sleepy in the morning and the person's like I need something more like up, you know what I mean, at this point in time in the morning, like or like whatever time, whatever, you know what I mean, like you said, whatever time, I don't know.
No, it's some real shit. I feel like I'm very much like that, where I'm like I get behind on albums because I have to wait for a certain moment. Like it's usually when on the walks, like I feel like that's my go-to like listen to audio time, whether it be music or podcasts. But like that's because I feel like I lock into like where I don't really have to worry too much about other shit, so I can just enjoy that. I feel like when I'm at home and stuff, I actually have very few moments where I can fully just kind of like indulge in an album. I don't know.
Yeah. And it's different because like I feel like some albums I'll listen to when it wasn't the right time and I'll think it's bad album, but then I'll listen to it again at like a perfect time. I'm like, I can't believe I slept on this for so long. It's so good. So it just depends.
Also, I remember you also knew about Point Doom.
Oh yeah.
Before I knew you, and that was pretty like a crazy thing because like I knew them, and then you're like also that's why I knew you're like a music head and shit. I was like, what the fuck?
It was like on a radio or something that I was listening to on Spotify, and they came up, and I was like, whoa! And I think you sent me the song, and I was like, wait, I know this one. Yeah. And then I met Ruben like pretty shortly after. And I was like, whoa! It was so cool.
No, I definitely think like in Monterey, like it was like a cool time to make music. Like I feel like it's a musical ass place out there. Yeah. And, like you live out there now too, so that's like, how do you like that, like living in Monterey, and like is there more musical stuff going on there or less?
Honestly, the only musical stuff I always went to was this jazz club that I go like once a week. They have a Wednesday night jazz with these 3 guys, and they're super cool, and they play for hours, and it's all free. Like there's no entrance fee or anything, and they're just trying to get like people more out from the community to like love jazz. Like the owners would be like, come on, like bring your friends from school. Like they're trying to make it more of like a vibe, young vibe thing, which is pretty cool. And they do reggaes on the weekends, which I haven't gone to, but I really want to. But I was just thinking about that because Monterey, I feel like, doesn't have a music culture.
Is that the same spot where Cider performed at?
Or no? No, he didn't perform there. Or I just haven't like searched hard enough because I feel like I don't really know anyone that makes music up there other than when you lived there. I was like, just you.
Right, yeah, I was wondering if it had like increased or decreased. I'd be curious about that in places, you know what I mean? If it's just like there's like a bunch of people there making music, or
I'm trying
if it's
to
just
find
like not
local
anymore.
Bands, but haven't found any.
I remember like back when I was there, at least there used to be like some people that would just jam in their garage just like here and there, but then like now I don't know. I feel like I never really heard nothing except Cider, but even the homie Chris Siders was already graduated then. So like I was curious to see though. I knew they were famous for jazz when I went up there, but I always felt like when I got into the music program, it was on some like, how do you say, like, I mean there were some people that were really cool about it, but there were some people that were really on some professional stuff too. Yeah. And then also I feel like they all want to transfer to go to like another bigger music school as well.
I feel like the music program in my school isn't all that great.
Like they were like cool, but they were just like like they were down to help you get to like the next level, if you will. Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. As I'm thinking about it, it just makes me laugh because like it's definitely location wise. Because I'm thinking of in here in LA, man.
It's like
everyone does like
it's
exactly. Yeah, I'm curious about that when you go to other places.
It's like sensory overload.
It is like I was.
At what point does it get like that? That's my thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't. I don't know if it was always like that, but now it's just like boom, like implosion. Like it's almost like when something infests somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like I wonder, like, does it happen like that? You know what I mean? Like, do like a seed spark, and then it's just like everyone in somewhere is just like, now we all doing this. Like this is the thing to do now.
So I feel like it's hard to say because I feel like there's very few. We're so early on in like music history. You know what I mean? Like there's only so many cities that have had that kind of sprouting and have lived long enough to even tell kind of a tale of like that honed down, and it's kind of like, so it's hard to say if that's like how it has to happen, but it seems to be like that is how it does, for like to an extent, that like the art scene has to pop up, and like within the art scene there's just all this going on, but like music right now is just like one of those big trends that's like huge. But I swear I sat down yesterday and like people were sitting behind me talking about music. I remember last time we went out to somewhere over there, we went to the Pantages Theater or something like that, people behind us talking about music.
I remember that. Doing producing for some
which is dope, don't get me wrong. I think like I love it because I think that's what makes like the art scene, and like what makes it as like vibrant and as vivid as it is. But like
look, last night, bro, we just went to drink and turned up with like some dope ass DJs that were like, and I didn't realize like I was mainly turning up with just them, like
on a Monday.
Like, you know what I mean? Like it's just kind of like, and you're just like, damn, you're right, like, damn, this person's a DJ, this person's a DJ, this person's a DJ too. Like, what's it?
It's crazy, but it's cool because like it makes it like really like a whole scene here, and you can really see that kind of separation when you describe places like like you're saying in Monterey, where there is like a bit of a thing, but not to the point where it's even remotely noticeable like this over here. And it's
like it's not known for
the main thing they're known for is the Monterey Jazz Festival, which is like where, but it's kind of like people come from other places too, so it almost doesn't have to have like a hub there, if you will. It just has to be like, every year everybody pulls up and does like a big show, like
True.
But a cool thing we can talk about now is maybe two things. I want to made Vodka Water and Sundays. I feel like because that's our actual, we talk about like you being there and you as an artist, people being like, you don't make music, but like within our scope media of like the Vine Tree world, you've actually like made actual art within that shit. It's kind of a trip, like.
That's so interesting.
You know what I mean? Like you actually was on the Vodka Water song, and then we like you did the piano at the end.
Yeah, I was
like,
really.
I produced the beat.
I still am into piano a lot, but a little bit before the pandemic, I got really, really into piano, and I wanted to learn like everything super quickly, and every morning I'd get up and just play for like an hour or two, just like listening to music and playing, and eventually I just got so used to playing that I could just play whatever beat, really, or like any cute little riff, or I don't know. It's fun. So then when I met you and we made that song, I was like, I could do a little piano on this. I could do a little piano.
It sounded really like a regular progression from like a video game or some shit that like someone had memorized. And I was just like, damn, this sounds clean. Like, because I produced like some wild shit that I did on mine. It was really just like a freestyle of like bass hits. I was like, but it was more so the idea of like, I was listening to like JPEG, and I just thought like, well, if you can kind of just make all these different transitions, I can just rap. I can just follow it, you know what I mean? And it'll see whatever happens of me following that rhythm, Yeah. And then I just did that on like a freestyle, and then it sounded clean, and then we were like, all right.
I was like, it was so funny. I was like, oh my god, this shit's easy. You just rap on the
No,
mic.
I was just talking about that with the homie. Like, I don't think I've ever done it that easy.
No,
though.
that's
like,
what
that was the wildest thing. Like, it's not really that easy.
I know. That's why I was like, wait, that was so fast for a song. We made it in literally 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's usually never that easy. I don't know what happened in that moment.
I didn't think so.
That I was just like, all right, beat.
Yeah.
This part, I was like, drums.
Yeah.
This part, and then I was just like, it was like some Kenny Beat shit. No cap. It was really like, don't overthink shit. Like I just was like, I just was like, all right, then rap, and then you're like, all right, play piano, and then done.
Yeah, it was fun. It's a really weird song. Like when I listen to it, I'm like, this is so experimentally and
like I'm literally talking about like performing, but then I'm also talking about, I feel like the idea of like when I'm freestyling and then I close my eyes, and then you only close your eyes really hard and it gets kind of like red.
Yeah. Well, like you see the lights.
You see like the red lights, but it kind of gets like I feel like it looks like like an orangish red.
Like if you're looking at the sun. Like,
you're looking at the sun, it looks red.
Or if you look in the dark, it just looks black.
Yeah. Does yours look red, bro?
I feel like if you close it hard enough,
It's red?
You're like making your eyes bleed.
No.
You're like,
That only happens to me when I look at the sun.
I feel like that's what I was saying, like, you know what I mean? And then it's like kind of like when you rap, and it's kind of just like you're doing that.
Yeah.
It's kind of just like, I feel like, because what if you're feeling like physical pain, like you're jumping in the mosh pit and shit too, and then you start to like bleed, and then what if everything is just red? Like, I feel like I was like describing like, what would that feeling be like? Because the beat sounded very aggressive. Like, it sounded like.
You thought of all of that.
Well, I thought to express that.
Yeah.
Like, and then I didn't know how I was gonna do it, but
it's sick. So how could you have said that you were not feeling very artistic when you were dedicated yourself that long to like learning piano and like?
I guess it's because I'm not making it like a career path of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like a lot of the people I meet, music is their passion, and they're pursuing it to like.
That's like the nuance within. I get what you were saying though. Like,
they're pursuing
like in a lot of other
farther.
people that are doing it, it's like they're kind of going after it, if you will, then like you was into it, but it's not necessarily like you're going like after it as like a career. You're just into it to be like better at it, just because you want to be better at it.
Yeah,
that's sick.
Just because.
I get that.
Just because you enjoy it. And, like,
just because I enjoy it. Yeah,
so.
when I was, I feel like I've always liked music as a kid, coming from or being raised in Venezuela for a bit. I feel like I've always had some sort of like stimulation for music because of like the bongos and drums specifically. I feel like I tell Wes all the time I listen to beat more than lyrics, just because I've always heard beats all around me with drums first and bongos and all of that.
You definitely sent me some really cool Venezuelan music. I think in the beginning, that was like one of the first things I asked you to send, so I could send Mauricio to be like, we should sample it.
Yeah, and like,
I think I sent them, but it was like the idea of sampling them was kind of caught up because they were like pretty famous Venezuelan songs. That's what I asked. Like, they were like, the hits. Like,
yeah. And then I was in band for a bit, like marching band, from elementary school all the way into a little bit of high school, and then I quit in high school because I was really I'm a biology major. Like, music is so, I feel, opposite of what.
How does music play into science? What's the science on music?
There's a lot of science.
There's so much science.
What's the biological science on music?
Of
like
music?
Like with animal, like with their life and like there probably is. I'm not saying there isn't.
No, yeah.
That'd be
like
crazy.
The way we listen to music and how we associate music with certain smells.
How does music affect like animals? You know what I'm saying? In a biological sense, does it, or am I just like making shit up?
Yeah.
Frequencies,
right? Yeah. I would think that's how
Yeah, like they've done studies on if you play music next to plants that they'll grow quicker, and like they'll bloom faster. Yeah, it's really cool.
We need to play Vine Tree. We need to get a Vine Tree small garden and just play our albums on repeat and see like how they come out. Like,
that'd be interesting as fuck. That'd be so cool.
The intro to this podcast looks so much like this backyard. Like, I feel like I'm looking at the video right now. It's so cool.
Thank you.
When the music was playing, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, because it's the birds. All this shit. And one thing I think of Monterey too inspired me is like the visuals, like wise, like the beach and like the beautiful vastness of that shit is like really crazy. And I think like at that time also I made Sundays too over there, like when we did like the TCV 1D tape, and like even then I was kind of thinking of that, like because we hadn't really got to go to the beach yet, but I was hyping to the homies like, oh, we should go to the beach, so like, and then like in that morning I feel like I was rapping about that, like just living that like lifestyle, because it was like a weekend of just being like, we could just go to the beach, like it's just like, you know what I mean, like there's really just like, it's like you wake up, can go to the beach because it's right there, can go back home, like it's just like a sunny ass day, like
the Monterey beach in particular, I feel portrays a lot of feelings in media and art, just because though it's really, really pretty, the beach is there, the waves crash really loud and it sounds really angry sometimes. That's why I don't know if you've seen Big Little Lies.
That's what I thought you were gonna say. Big Little Lies. That's a great show. We should talk about that. Like, we don't have to talk about it, but I feel like I seen that before I really knew what Monterey was. Like, I heard of Carmel a little bit, but like I saw that show, so that imagery, like I know exactly the imagery you're talking about of like the waves crashing like over the Big Sur and all that is like,
it's like a serious show, so it's supposed to portray like anger and
like all the frustration and
like
all the
stress
shit, like,
with
yeah.
the waves crashing all the time, because they would cut to waves a lot at the beach. And I think that's what the director said too. That like they specifically chose Monterey for the beach
and like the
waves.
fogginess of it too. Like that shit.
It's really scary at night actually when you're driving through the forest.
Right.
The fog.
Yeah, they also do the they filmed the, I haven't been to Santa Cruz, and they filmed Get Out right there.
Oh yeah,
the little from there.
a little part in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that part doesn't exist. Like if you actually go to Santa Cruz, that part of the doesn't exist.
So like, what music do you feel like represents that area?
Santa Cruz or Monterey?
Like both, like the whole little, just like the misty vibe. Like what artists, like Denzel? I don't know. I'm just like throwing shit out there.
I don't know. I feel like it's so close to the bay too.
Because I feel like that affects me. Like, you know what I mean? When I go to like those little weather changes, that like how you talked about earlier, like the time in music and like when you want to listen to certain stuff. I feel like certain things like that, I listen to certain things. When I'm in certain like environments like that, I listen to stuff that I wouldn't listen to in other ones.
Yeah. I feel like in Monterey, though I still listen to so much hip hop and rap, I think Monterey, I explored more alternative rock and indie. That was like the first couple of songs that I've always played, and jazz too. But yeah, Monterey just has like the vibe of like bass guitar, electric guitar.
That's what I mean. Like I feel like I felt that like when I was on my way over there. I remember I was bumping so much phony people. I just got into phony people a lot, and I felt like it just like felt like there, you know, like just jazz samples, lo-fi samples, like and a random thing I remember, I think you might have been the one to send me this, like they have playlists of colleges, right?
I think so.
Where they generated like what were the most like listened songs, remember? And I think I showed it to you too, and we were all like, damn, this is crazy. Cause
like you can see the playlist of a certain school. So like they did a CSUMB one, a Monterey Bay one, and I think they did a Northridge one, and it was all like Bay music.
Yeah, that's why
shit.
Sounds super cool. Yeah, I was like, oh, I wonder what Northridge sounds like, and it was just like turn music.
Yeah. And Monterey had like indie and alt rock and like Mitski and stuff.
I know, and I was like, this is so like, this is really like, it makes sense. Like, you know what I mean? It was like, this is a big college, but like it reflects like the culture, if you will. Like, that like some of the biggest artists, it'll be like Reason or some shit like.
Yeah, my school's super like hippie skater guys, surfer dudes.
I feel like that. It's just part of those beach waves, you know. Like it's. I feel like all along like the coast makes me think of that, because I was thinking of like what I would think of like in this sense, like having only been there once, and like what the vibe was that I got there when I was there, because it was a nice day, and it was like, or a nice couple days because we were there for a few days, but it honestly like made me think of Arctic Monkeys,
right?
like
like electric guitar and shit, like
exactly, like it
very
like,
grungy
vibes,
definitely grunge
rock,
vibes.
Yeah.
Like you should have a flannel on and a little beanie.
Like Cage the Elephant. Yeah, definitely felt that in Monterey.
So I mean, how was it for you guys? I mean, we could all talk about this one. How was it for you guys in the process of filming the Sundays? Wasn't like,
that the first day I met Mari?
Right?
I think so.
That's what I'm saying, because I feel like if we
Whoa.
transition from us meeting to Mari, that would be then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's crazy.
Whoa. Yeah. So this is what, a 2-day video? 2 days?
3 days.
3 days? Oh yeah, you weren't there for the second
The
one
third
or
day.
third one. I don't remember.
Yeah, you weren't there on the third day at all. The third day was like really cool. It was like we went to like a beach all the way in like near Malibu, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was far. It was a cool one though. And then we did like some car shots there. We were like pulling out of like a lot.
Yeah. It was really cool.
Yeah. But man.
Yeah. Day 1. It was cool. It was cool taking direction from
I'm trying
Lauren.
to think, like, was it hard to get you to be down to do it? Like, did you say
you want to talk about that?
I'm just trying to, I forgot. Like, I don't even remember, like, when I asked you, did you say, were you just like, yeah? Like, I don't even remember.
No. I said, I think I told you that I didn't want to do it. Cause
I feel like you probably didn't want to, yeah, right?
No, I didn't want to because I'm not an actor and I don't like to be on screen and I don't like people to see me. Like I don't know. I don't like being advertised or on social media like that. So it's like weird for me to do videos.
And I feel like
stuff.
Mari can resonate with that too, because this also doesn't really like being on social media like that, especially on that tip.
Or videos.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, like on that tip, like on the video tip, like on the like.
I just don't like being recorded, and I don't know. I just had to step out of my comfort zone, and I feel like also confidence too, where I'm like, oh, you could get like a much better person for this, because like they're probably better trained or they just do way better than me. And I don't know. I just feel like
But I felt like it was more so like I'm not an actor, and it's really like a part of that shit is just real life. Like it's just being like, you know, just being yourself.
Yeah,
like.
that's true too. That's what I had to kind of tell myself. I'd be like, this is kind of fun, and then like stepping out of my comfort zone, which I've always liked.
I feel like
to
it was
do.
a fun crew too. Like that was another thing we were gonna have to shout out. Like it was the people also we did it with was like that was just like luck of the draw. That it was just like the greatest cats. Like
yeah,
they were dope.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a cool experience. Like shout out to Lauren Sauce. He definitely wrote the really cool script and
the script, directed it. Like
some of it.
Yeah, so when we pulled up,
really
like, you know, he was kind of just like the showrunner for everything. And
was that your first time meeting Lauren in person?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like he kind of like took it over, and we let him really like, I don't know, take the leads on the direction for the video. But it's like one of our most watched videos right now, because it's like really good. Like it's like a great.
It's really cool.
I feel like, what did you think of the concept? Like that's a good thing about it too, because I feel like once you were down, I feel like even in being down, I want to know like what did you think? Like I feel like that's the part for me, because I didn't even get sold on that immediately. I think when I read the script and everything, I was really like confused on how it played into my song.
Yeah, when you showed me the script, I was also confused about it, because I was like, how can this song fit into that vision?
Right?
It was so out of what I even thought. Like Sunny Days just reminds me of being in a car on a sunny day. Like,
yeah, like in the beginning it was really like on something like that, but then then
it gets weird.
I started to really like understand what he was going for with it after like maybe a few times reading it. And then I was like, wow, like he just caught little themes, and like it felt like he really listened to my music.
Yeah,
that was the weird part. It felt like he maybe listened to like some of our other songs and like my music in a whole, and it was like adding like, I don't know if you do this, but I feel like he was adding like taking risks, if you will, where it's like even in his theme making, where it's like, all right, like you have to, same thing like when I think about songwriting, like, and they say like when you songwrite for other people, you have to like kind of get in their shoes, but at the same time like throw those things that it's just like those perfect little, like, you know what I mean, interpretations for that person, like, you know what I'm saying. And I feel like he was listening to all the different parts of the song, and then this song, and he was like, oh, this song isn't a happy song, this is a sad song, like this is this, like, you know what I'm saying. And then it was just kind of like, damn, like in the scope of all like this other shit, you could kind of frame it like that.
Yeah, seeing his vision come to life is so cool. I don't think I've ever been like at like a step-by-step process like that. It was so cool to see, and mixing in with music. I've done like one other short film for my like friend who used to be my RA in college, and that was pretty cool. It was like a silent film, kind of like this one. I didn't really have parts to talk in. It was just like facial expressions and acting like that, which was pretty cool. But adding like the music aspect to it was something I've never done, which was so awesome. I'm really glad I did it. Like at the end of the day, it's like I
definitely had to drink during some parts of it, because I felt like I was like, you know what I mean, like I had to really have like some charisma, because we were out there in front of like just people on like Santa Monica.
We were like at a public beach, just in the middle.
Like, we were in Santa Monica. Like filming in cars.
Yeah. Those two girls at the beach were like, what are y'all doing?
Getting them some dope shirts. Yeah, that was a shout to the realtor, homie. She also watched the pod. But definitely it was like people were there. Like that was a funny experience, because they thought we was like doing something like for real filming, because the homie had really good
for real filming,
because he had really for real cameras, and like his for real cameras was like, it was just clown for us, because it was like one of our first times being like that with someone who was just like dope though, who's with the vision. So it was like we were in like, the shit with them, like, you know what I mean. We're there doing it, like, all right, now let's go here, boom, like now let's go to this spot, like.
it was fucking amazing seeing it go down, honestly. Because like even from the, like you're saying, like seeing like the whole concept play out and like the vision come to life. Because like I remember after hitting him up on Reddit and like him sending me like the script initially and like seeing it, I'm like, wow, this is very interesting. Like I did not like, and then like after I showed it to us and like we both went over it, it was just like, all right, damn, that shit is like some shit, like on going like a whole different direction. We were both kind of like very apprehensive about it at first, just being like,
did you think it was like too much?
I don't think it was too much. I'm actually really glad that he took it as far as he did, because if he didn't push it as much as he did in that initial pitch, it probably wouldn't have sold me, and I probably would have shelved it. Like,
really? Like he took the correct risk in that. Like that's what I mean. Like it almost seemed calculated the way it hit. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like that's what I was saying. Like it almost seemed calculated the way that risk hit. And
that was the reason why. Like honestly, how much he was pushing it and willing to go into the vision before we had even like hit the fucking camera yet. Like all the back, like because he wrote the script for it. He wrote like he storyboarded it. He came up with like, and then I remember seeing.
Oh yeah, I saw his storyboard. He pulled out his journal.
Yeah,
it was so cool.
And that was amazing to see the process.
And I saw myself doing those things, which was so interesting. Like I saw it drawn out like that, and then I acted it, and it was so cool. Felt like I jumped in his journal.
For real, he really pulled out like a whole vision for it, and it was amazing to like be able to like kind of kick back and watch that take place, because I feel like in our previous iterations with it, like in trying music videos, like we never really had like that much of, I feel like, of a vision for like a certain concept on a song, and then combined not only with the vision, because I feel like we've had some visions on it, but with the capability of actually bringing that vision to life.
Yeah, because of the equipment.
Exactly, the equipment, and like beyond the equipment, like the other folks that it takes to kind of like
a team.
He brought a team. You know what I mean? And that's so fucking necessary. And like that's like
that's
like
crazy.
And even Lauren, I remember he mentioned to me that it would not have been possible without his team, because it is like everyone plays like a very key role, and like within that.
Hi, Shadow.
You know what I mean? They were really able to help bring Lauren's vision to life, and it was amazing to see that go down, and how he was able to not only navigate what he had to do, but navigate that and kind of like place those pieces where it needed to be. I was confident in not like having to be there on the last day, because I was like, he doesn't need me to be there. I was there to kind of oversee, like making sure everything was gonna go well. But when it got to the point that I saw that he was running a fucking very well-oiled machine, and I was like,
it was so cool.
Yeah, it looked pretty chill. Like everything he had kind of like laid out to go. We like, I feel like only one like time we're like, oh, we were too late to go here or there, which is, I feel like, was even cool to me, because I'm like, damn, music videos are like really have like things
time
like
sets,
and they have like but I mean like behind,
like, I know we were trying to get
behind
a
the scenes shots, like, you know what I mean, like shots that don't make the cut and shit like that.
Yeah,
because I just realized that like there was actual places that we couldn't get to because it was like a certain time. Like imagine it's like how many videos where it's like, oh, they got like, you know what I mean, the sun went down here, so then they couldn't get like this shot over here, so then they had to only take here, but like, oh, we would have had a shot at this place, you know?
Yeah, we couldn't get the
like, I don't really think that happens. Because that's happened to me, and then I just realized, damn, bro, like that's really like the sun going down and all that. Like that's what I meant. Like that time limit, like you said, on the tip of like where you have to be doing it at the same exact time, or all these shots have to be done at this time to line up for the whole video.
Yeah.
Lighting and some shit.
That's just crazy. We're all like, what? So we all have to meet up and do this at nighttime? Remember the lady that was like, what, that lady we saw by the gas station in the final scene? So in the final scene, I have to like, which is funny because obviously you don't like, throwing up, and I had to throw up. I had to like spit some stuff out, like, you know what I mean? And then, but it wasn't really throwing up. But then I had to like put crackers, this is the behind the scenes. I had to put the crackers in my mouth with the milk. You know what I mean? And
I had to change for the contact, when the name pops up on your phone, I had to change my contact name to like Harton, like another girl's name or something.
Yeah, it was some funny shit. It was like, it was
so
some
funny.
goofy shit. I remember like we really like kind of But that was the fun. Those were like the behind the scenes fun parts about it. Where it's like we really had to like do this to like set up the scene. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Had to like I had to get a text,
ones.
like leave the notification right there.
Yeah.
I had to spit out a couple times the crackers in my mouth and then go back in. Like I thought that was like a one and done. Like I didn't clear it on the first one.
No, I had to. Yeah.
And then, but then, you know, going off of that, then it was like, so I was saying, then we ran into that lady right there. I forgot what really happened. I'm trying to kind of recollect. Because I know that's what happened right before that. And then, because we had to get a shot of like you running away. And there was someone parked in the spot. There was a lady that was parked in the spot for members to like us to get the shot of her running up the alley.
That one.
Oh, I keep thinking that was the last day.
Yeah.
Oh man, you should have been there, dude.
But like she was saying how she had connections to
these agents in New York, but then she had like a dog with her, and she kind of looked like she was like just staying there, but because she said that she needed she needed help to do something, like she needed us to take her to like somewhere, right?
I don't know. Did you give her your number?
No, she wanted to. She was like dying to give one of us like her information. You know what I mean? She was like, I gotta give you my information. I'm about to get this much money. She had like a foster situation or something. You know what I'm saying? She was like, I'm about to get this much money from like a Laurent or something. And we were just like, what? It's crazy. We're like, we just wanted her to move. And like I had to
film the shot.
I had to take her number to move to film the last shot, like her information, and then we immediately had to block it. Like we thought it was gonna be like a scam or something, like. You know?
Yeah. I was like, block that number right now.
It was crazy though. Like I remember that being like the final of the shot of the video, being like, all right, like now that I'm done throwing up, like, and you have to like now run and do that scene. It's like we need her to dip, like to be out of there. And then it's like someone has to go talk to her, like, and she's just standing out there looking like cleaning shit out of her car. They're looking like, nah, like I'm not gonna move. Like, what's up?
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah.
Well.
What time is it? You know what time it is?
It is 4:26.
So I feel like now we should probably transition talking about the DJ shit, and then we can talk about, you know, life affirmations, and you can also, you know, choose those.
I have a gift for you.
Yeah, talk about those. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I feel like we don't want to talk too much in depth about the DJ shit, but I feel like the gift shit we probably get into, but I feel like this plays into it because. One thing we both have in common is we like music hella, and we send like each other every song, you know what I'm saying, on earth that's like the realest songs. And I feel like I've been starting to collect vinyls, and you have too, and I feel like, you know, something me and Mauricio talk about at different times is like the augmented, you know, reality and like metaverse and stuff like that. But I feel like one thing that's I've always thought about too outside of that is just DJing itself. And like wanting to get into DJing and shit like that, and like and I don't know, I feel like I haven't thought about, like, I was never really into it, but I feel like it would be dope in a group setting, the way I've seen like they have back-to-back sets with like all these famous DJs. And then I thought me and you could do some sick shit like that, because you know what I'm saying, we into fashion, we into like, you know what I'm saying, different
cool
shit.
Duo.
You know, my hair right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine all the different types of styles I would do my hair.
Yeah.
If like I actually had a set at like, you know what I'm saying, Coachella, or like, no, imagine like some cool shit, like just think of like Camp Slognar or something cool, right? And there's just like a DJ set. And imagine that we posted up, got like a cool name, we make Men of the Menace. You know what I'm saying?
I know, I feel like me being a DJ has been like an ongoing little joke here and there, just because all my friends know I'm super into music. And I think even for Halloween I was like a DJ, like I put shades on and I had a little like turntable thingy, and it was so funny. And I don't know, I feel like DJing would be pretty cool, but putting it into the metaverse, as what Mari said, would be even like beyond what I think.
Yeah, like that's some whole other shit. Like imagine though, where it's like then,
like a little
but we
character.
could put different. What if it's even not a little character though, where it's like, well, see, that's one that would be a vibe too.
I know.
But what if it's both? What if it's like there's little characters going on simultaneously as the Twitch stream one though, but it's playing the same music. Where the Twitch stream one just has like different backgrounds and shit, and like different cool shit like that. You know what I mean? But the other one is like for real one, like with the not for real one, but like the fake.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying, like in the metaverse, because I feel like
I'm more comfortable with the metaverse just because
it's like
I'm not real.
Your identity. Yeah.
I am hidden.
And I think that's the cool part about it. It's like we would be able to do it behind wherever the fuck we could do it at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it could just be in there, and it's like, oh, you got to go in there to see it. And like, imagine as that gets popping, people putting it in there, they going in there, turning it up. Like, oh man, they in here rocking in this little room. Like, then and West in here going crazy. Like,
I see some motherfuckers.
but like, but you know what I'm saying? I feel like to warm it up though, we could even do Sauce just like doing it, like just live, like starting to do
Just do the
shows of
Twitch.
that
Yeah.
shit, like.
Just gotta.
Because we create playlists, things of the sort, you know what I'm saying? But speaking of such, I mean, we can get into the records and shit.
Yeah, I actually picked these up before I came on Saturday. I went to an antique shop that I haven't been to back in Bakersfield, and they had records there. And one of them, I listened to this dude called Hubert Laws. He's like a jazz R&B instrumental guy, and literally the second record I touched was this one, and I was like, I have to give this one to Mari because this cover reminds me of like the Vine Tree in some sort of way, because it's just naturey, and it's just super cool. There's this one song on here called Land of Passion, which is the title of the title of the album or record. And it's super old school. I feel like you'd enjoy it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm just like glaring in my eyes, but this thing is so cool. I love the cover.
The cover is so
Insanely
sick.
awesome.
Yeah. And then for Wes, I know me and him like old school too, and I got him a Diane record, also found at the antique shop, and she's actually Whitney Houston's aunt.
Yeah, because
I
that was the
believe.
part where I kind of got, I didn't know who it was. I forgot her last name, but it's Dionne Warwick. And
Yeah.
she's actually, Whitney Houston's aunt. So I found out, like, I didn't know that she's,
Yeah, it's like R&B soul. It's really nice.
you know what I'm saying? It's the real Jig D Jams right here.
Yeah.
They got the cover.
It's a cool cover.
Yeah, she's super sick.
And then I got into this because, crazy interesting story back when, you was on your socials and stuff. I remember this being a picture on your socials. Like, it was one that was on there.
Yeah.
And like, I was just like, I remember just seeing like, where the fuck was this from? You know what I mean? Like, this is so crazy. Like I didn't know that it was like real music, or I kind of did know later on, but then I was just looking at it like, man, that's just crazy. Like, that's just a crazy image. But then I went, like I said, right next to my barber shop. I was at the record parlor, and I was like, looking at records like I sometimes do when I'm bored. And then I was like, all right, let me see what they got in the new release. I went to like the third or fourth one back. It was right there. And I was like, where have I seen this? Like, this is crazy.
That's what happened to me with the Hubert Laws one. I was like, where have I seen this? And I was like, I have a song. And this album is like thank you, Wes, by the way. This album is like a alien. The best way to describe it is like alien funk. It has like universe star sounds. I feel like alien sounds.
I feel like I haven't shouted out
electric.
the name. I gotta shout them out. Parlay.
Parlay.
Invasion of the Booty Snatcher.
And the cover is an alien touching some girl's ass.
Yeah.
And then
It's produced by George Clinton from Parliament. So it's like Parlay is like, it also says on the back is like the group that he was producing. So he used to do like a lot of different projects, like basically the main guy, George Clinton in Parliament, and it was a group with it says eight thing production. Parlette are Jeanette Washington, Shirley Hayden, and Janice Evans. And then right here I got the two sides that are riding high, no bump to bump, don't ever stop loving me, needing me, great song. And then Booty Snatchers, You're Leaving, Huff and Puff. Huff and Puff is
I
cool
feel
too.
like I listened to that a lot in Monterey.
Yeah. The middle one.
Super cool.
Sick. But I think Shadow was saying we should probably get into life affirmations now. You could probably jet back to Monterey,
so
and jet back home.
I gotta go actually in 5 minutes.
So we can start the life affirmations.
Yeah. Someone go first.
No.
I don't know when. I mean, I do, but I don't.
Okay, Shadow. So.
Shadow, what's my life affirmation?
I think for me, I was thinking about it. Obviously, you can probably guess, gotta do with my hair.
Oh.
I think that.
Dude, I was gonna talk about. Okay, go.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I think that for me, I used to kind of look at like dyeing my hair as like my hair's gonna fall out. I really did. Like I really thought like I would mess up my hair if I dyed it at all ever. So I just kind of was afraid of dyeing it for the longest time. And then like I did it once, and you did it for me, and it was like I really liked it. But I also felt like it was just one of those things of just being like, all right, like I kind of just touched the water, like, okay,
yeah.
it's
Dude,
not
once
bad.
you get into it, you cannot stop.
You know what I mean? And then now I'm just like, whoa, that shit just comes out like, boom.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I feel like lately, I just feel it's just the next level of like expressing yourself.
Yeah.
It's just like also saucing the color of your hair too, man.
Mm-hmm.
I think I never thought about it as a part of the whole vehicle.
Yeah.
Really, you know what I'm saying? But like now I see it just kind of makes everything kind of look different. It's weird how it does that shit. Like I don't understand why. It's like something that just like goes like your haircut, but it does. It's like getting a haircut. You know, you feel complete.
Good.
I feel like mine's also a little related to hair, but it's more so about attachment, like being attached to things that you don't really need to be attached to. And I think one of my main attachments is my hair, and I feel like it's a lot of people's too, how hair is just a part of you. So if you were to cut it, it would not feel like you anymore. And I feel like I hold so much comfort and I'm so reliable on my hair. I feel that if I were to do anything else to it, I wouldn't feel like Amenaida, you know what I mean? But I feel like that relates to attachment, because I feel like you can't get attached with too many things, otherwise you'll just not be able to, like, you won't be able to step out of your comfort zone. And that goes back to like me saying yes to the video and me wanting to try new things. And I feel like once humans realize that we don't have to be attached to anything, that's why we thrift, right? Like there's no real value in losing something you thrift. So I feel like focusing on not being too attached to things, I think, could help us a lot with just being comfortable and not being afraid.
That's some real shit. No, that's very true.
I see some motherfucking shit.
Almost at the wrong one.
I guess for me lately, it's been a little bit focusing on this idea. I know I've kind of mentioned to you about this before, of like, especially this past weekend, I had a lot of people ask me what my plan is, when am I going, when am I leaving, what am I doing, and I felt really, my answer to all of it was like, I don't know. Like ideally, if everything was ideal, I would leave today, but like there's certain things that I need to get done first, and other things that like need to come up. But then also on top of that, like even when I go out there, like, or wherever I go, like I don't really have a plan right now, and I'm so thankful for it.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like last time I went to New York, I went there with a plan. I went there with like this whole concept about what I wanted to do. None of that came true. Everything like switched. I had like,
yeah,
but it was good. I'm glad, because that opened my eyes into seeing like maybe like the idea of the attachment, you know, like not being attached to a plan as much, and like not being so concerned of like wanting to get things off this and that way.
Yeah,
so
that
like
just leads to disappointment.
Exactly.
So if you just plan everything out and it doesn't go the way, you're attaching yourself to that plan, and you don't want to be disappointed. So yeah, I get it. Like, go to New York. Don't focus too much on like what you're gonna do. Just go to go.
Exactly. And like beyond that, like it's like one of those things where I was like describing, like I don't know, like I just know that I have like a calling and like a feeling that I need to be like in a certain place at a certain moment. But like beyond that, I don't know what the fucking details are, and I don't really care too much about it right now. Like I'll figure that out as I go.
That's respectable.
But, yeah.
I feel like
so it's just kind of.
I always want to do that. I also feel the urge to just be somewhere else that's like out of the country, but I have no other purpose other than I just want to be out of the country. And you just, I don't know, I gotta follow my gut on that at some point.
I feel that.
Yeah, I think you'll have the best time in New York though. It'll be so awesome. I feel like you need a little sense of like stimulation, you know what I mean? Like you're so used to like having this LA sort of vibe, and like you just need a reset kind of, or to be stimulated again with what you like, what you don't like, which it could be really cool.
That's facts. thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me. Hey, Shadow.
Thank you again for the gift. It was super
course.
sick. I'm super excited to listen to this.
Also take this shit too.
That's for me,
don't
actually.
forget.
I gotta head home.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, for real.
Thank you. Any last things you want to say to the folks back at home? Or over there?
Look out for the DJ playlist.
Yeah, for real. Look out for the DJ playlist. I'll make one. Spotify's Men of the Menace if you want to follow that. That's all I have.
Yeah. And then, you already know.
Oh, I don't like to do that one.
All right.
Peace out, everyone.
Peace.
Mind Tree Radio.
I close my eyelids and watch the sky turn to red. I spit this verse up out my brain, you know I'm going dead. Anytime I go crazy on the beat, I get them jumping out the stadium. They black and got their feet turning red. The whole scene moving like it's my favorite word. I just flip the whole birds back again for the curve. Don't swerve, don't move, don't crash. Everybody tripping, they just wanna get past the hump. So we rash it, pass it, faster, faster. You ain't trying to crash it, huh?
This shit sounds cool though.
Mind Tree Radio.
Sunny days, summer night, sun rays. Is it Monday or lazy Sunday? Cruising on the beach till the sun fades, blowing hella gas. I am unfazed, dark shades, hoodie too. Baby boo, come ride with me. Backwards in designer, we dirty shoes with a white tee. She like me. She like me. Sunny days, summer night, sun rays. Is it Monday or lazy Sunday? Cruising on the beach till the sun fades, blowing hella gas. I am unfazed, dark shades, hoodie too. Baby boo, come ride with me. Backwards in designer, we dirty shoes with a white tee. She like me. She like me.
Got a couple vices that I like to mix. Bang after bang, yeah, I like to win. Straight off the dome, you can't write like this. Top 5 and I don't fight for fit. I'ma ice my bitch, ice out my kids, I'ma ice my wrist. Full hustle in this life for sin. God given, why I shine like this?
Sunny days, summer night, sun rays. Is it Monday or lazy Sunday? Cruising on the beach till the sun fades, blowing hella gas. I am unfazed, dark shades, hoodie too. Baby boo, come ride with me. Backwards in designer, we dirty shoes with a white tee. She like me. She like me.
Mind Tree Radio.